Hey guys, this is 8.1. We are doing systems of equations. We're eliminating a variable so that we can solve for the other variable to find the solution. And one of the examples in class had fractions, so I just wanted to go over it in more detail. Okay, so here is the system of two equations. And for one of them, I want to eliminate x, and for one of them, I want to eliminate y, just to show you that either way, it doesn't really matter. You'll always get the same answer. So this is the one I did in class. And then I got an answer of y equals 3/10. And I want to show you why it's better to put 3/10 into this equation than it is to put it into this equation. But first, let's eliminate the x's so we can solve for y. So what we did was we multiplied the top by -5, and it's okay. It doesn't make any difference if you choose -5, or sorry, -3 and +5. You just need one negative, one positive. So the top is by -5, the bottom's by +3, so that the x's will equal 15. And they'll be opposites. One will be -15, one will be +15. So now we have -15x plus 10y equals 0. And then on the bottom we have +15x plus 30y equals 12. So now my x's cancel. 40y is 12. Divide by 40 to isolate the y. So now we say, I'm going to put it way over here, y is 12 over 40. There is a way to simplify this because both of those numbers can be divided by 4. So because I can divide 12 by 4 and get 3, and I can divide 40 by 4 and get 10. 12 over 40 is the same as 3 over 10 as a fraction. You can also put it into your calculator. 12 40s is 3/10. Okay, so we know y equals 3 over 10. And now we need to, you know what? I'm going to go over here and I'm going to eliminate y. All right. So to eliminate y, I need to make the -2y and the 10y equal, right? But opposite signs. The easiest way to do that would be to multiply this top number by 5. And then we can leave the bottom number alone. 5 times 3 is 15x. 5 times -2y is -10y. And 0 stays the same. The bottom stays the same. 5x plus 10y equals 4. The -10y and the +10y eliminate. 15x plus 5x is 20x equals 4. Okay, now I'm going to divide by 20 on both sides. 20 divided by 20 is just x. 4 divided by 20, again, we can reduce that. So we can divide both 4 and 20 by 4 again. It's funny that they were both divisible by 4. So we're going to divide by 4 on the top, divide by 4 on the bottom. We get 1, and then we get 5 on the bottom. So when y equals 3/10, x equals 1/5. Well, we don't really know that, but we think that. Okay, so to check this answer, or no, sorry, to find y, I take the x and I put it back in either one of these. It does not matter which, okay? Because it has a 5 in the denominator, and it is the x. If I multiply 5 times 1/5, I just get 1. 5 times 1/5 is 1. 3 times 1/5 is not going to be a whole number. It's going to be a fraction, which is fine, but the whole number is even better, right? So if I see that, a 5 on top, we could say that, right? A 5 on top and a 5 on the bottom, that's going to be the easier one to use. So I'm going to put x in to this second equation. The second equation is 5x plus 10y equals 4. 5 times 1/5 plus 10y equals 4. So now that's 5 over 1 times 1 over 5. Right? If we go straight across, 5 times 1 becomes 5, and 1 times 5 becomes 5. 5 divided by 5 is just 1. So we can even say, because there's a 5 on top and a 5 on bottom, they cancel out, and it's just 1 over 1, which is 1. Okay, so that is 1. So now it's 1 plus 10y equals 4. Subtract that 1. 10y equals 3. And then divide by 10. So y, gosh, y equals 3/10. So when x equals 1/5, y equals 3/10. So my points are 1/5, 3/10. And it ends up that that is true. That is what we got over here, right? We got y equals 3/10 over here. So let's put that y in for x. And you want to see the easy way, right? So this was the easy way, was to put the 1/5 into the equation with 5. So here you have 3/10. It's going to be easier. It's a y to put 3/10 in with 10 than to put 3/10 in with 2. So we have 5x plus 10y is 4. 5x plus 10 3/10 equals 4. So that means we're multiplying 10 over 1 times 3 over 10. We can simplify it like we did the 5 and 5 become 1, the 10 and 10 become 1. Or we can just say 10 times 3 is 30. 1 times 10 is 10, and then divide them both by 3. Or sorry, divide them both by 10. 3 over 1, which is 3. Here, and I will erase that. So it's just to multiply 10 times 3 over 10, you end up with 3. $30 over 10, or 3 over 1. You get 3. Because (3 over 10), the 10s just become 1s. So that just becomes 3 over 1, which is 3. So we put that back. So this is 3. 5x plus 3 is 4. Subtract the 3. 5x equals 1. Divide by 5. X is 1/5. So no matter which order we did it in, we got what x is 1/5, y is 3/10. Okay. And when I did it in class, I chose the harder substitution, right? So I'll show you the more. You can stop the video now if that's what you wanted to see. But the more difficult substitution, when y is 3/10 and x is 1/5, and you have the equations 3x plus 2y equals 0, and 5x plus 10y, oops, sorry, that's a minus, equals 4. X as 1/5 times 3 is going to be the hard way. 3 times 1/5 minus 2y equals 0. So that's 3 over 1 times 1 over 5. That becomes 3 over 5. So now I have 3/5 minus 2y equals 0. So I need to subtract 3/5 on either side. Negative 2y equals negative 3/5. Now I have to take this fraction and divide a fraction. So negative 3/5 divided by negative 2. That is what makes it difficult. And I would just put it into my calculator. Negative 3/5 divided by 2. And it's negative 3/10. Y is negative 3/10. Okay. So because the 3 and the 5 were not, they didn't eliminate each other or reduce, you just had a harder time to divide by 2. And then the harder x would be, instead of the 5, use the 3x. Sorry, I started writing the wrong equation there. All right, so that was, we did the x into this one instead of into this one, the more difficult one. Now we're going to put y into this one instead of this one, just to do the difficult version. So it's 3x minus 2y equals 0 when y is 3/10. So 3x minus 2 times 3/10 equals 0. So let's look at this. 2 over 1 times 3 over 10 is, 2 times 3 is 6. 1 times 10 is 10. 6 can be divided by 2 and we get 3. 10 can be divided by 2 and we get 5, right? So 6/10 becomes 3/5. Or you could say 2 and 10 can be simplified to 1 and 5. Then it's just 1 times 3 is 3, 1 times 5 is 5. Okay, either way you get 3/5 as your answer to that. So now we have 3x minus 3/5 equals 0. Add that 3/5 to both sides. 3x equals 3/5. And this is why it's a little bit more difficult, is now you have to divide a fraction. by a number. But it just ends up being, when you put it into your calculator, it just ends up being 3/5 divided by 3 is 1/5. And so you get the same answer. It's just a little bit easier when your fractions match the whole numbers. When you have 10 over 10, 5 over 5, it's easier than if you have 2 and 10 or 3 and 5. So I think that was the only difference. But you get the same numbers no matter how difficult you would like to make it for yourself.